This is Margaret when she first joined Cornwall Partnership NHS Foundation Trust. That was on the 1st of May 2016 as a non-executive director, known as a NED, on our board of directors. Since her arrival, it's clear Margaret has always been passionate about people. During her time as a NED, Margaret chaired our Equality Committee. She co-chairs the local intersectionality meetings, which bring together the leads from our NHS staff networks. And just this year, Margaret helped host a visit from NHS England, showcasing the Trust's commitment to the NHS People Promise and transforming our culture.
Saddest day of my life to be talking about leaving CFT, because it's been quite a lovely journey for quite a few years now. As you can see, Cornwall's beautiful, which is why we're outside. But what's really beautiful about Cornwall are the people that work within Cornwall Foundation Trust. It's one of the best places I've ever been for dedication of staff and camaraderie and teamwork.
Perhaps this passion for people was what meant Margaret was destined for more. Just over a year after joining the Trust, she became vice chair of our board. But Margaret's next role came during the toughest time for the NHS and the country really, the COVID-19 pandemic, when in the December of 2020, Margaret was appointed as acting chair. The following autumn, she led on the appointment of our Chief Executive, Debbie Richards. And just a few months later, in January 2022, Margaret was officially appointed as our chair. From then, her passion for people continued. Margaret tries to reach as many colleagues as possible, describing attending multidisciplinary team meetings, community mental health team days, as well as shadowing district nurses, as a privilege. Not to mention some very special Christmas visits.
I like to say on Christmas Day, I try to visit all of our inpatient services. And on Christmas Day, I can just about do it all in daylight. But during the summer and during the winter, with traffic and weather conditions, sometimes it's very hard. But once again, those are just the challenges that we face. But there are no challenges that we haven't been able to overcome because we work together. We work together for the people of Cornwall, and that's our mission.
As well as supporting our people, Margaret's main role as chair is to support the board in key decision-making. Decisions which aren't always easy, but decisions that have helped to improve patient care. And during her tenure, Margaret has overseen some key milestones on that front, not least the opening of our Child and Adolescent Mental Health Unit, Siwenna, in only her second year as vice chair. And since then, Margaret has cut the ribbon to open the Bodmin Community Diagnostic Centre, followed by its new minor injuries unit, and last summer, the relocatable MRI unit. She expertly wielded a spade to help break the first ground for the St Austell Surgical Hub, then less than a year later, watched proudly as the hub was officially opened. And most recently, Margaret unveiled a special plaque to mark the opening of the new Isles of Scilly Hospital wing, part of the developing Isles of Scilly Health and Care Partnership. A partnership and way of working, Margaret tells us, was always a key objective.
When I joined CFT in 2016, this was the first thing on my list, because shout out to the Out Islands, yay Briar! It's a place very near and dear to my heart. So I worked very hard through different governments, through different layers, through the help of a lot of people to get this to fruition. And it was a huge team effort on many, many people's part, and I think that's the brilliance of it.
Margaret also chairs the Trust's Council of Governors, working closely with each and every governor and holding an informal briefing with them every 2 weeks. As well as her work within the Trust, Margaret has been a participant on the NHS Cornwall and Isles of Scilly Integrated Care Board since it came to be, attending every board meeting. She's also a member of the Cornwall and Isles of Scilly Integrated Care Partnership Board. It's safe to say those are big shoes to fill, and Margaret will be very much missed. So, as we lead the way in delivering more care on the doorstep, aligned of course to the 10-year health plan and the Darcy review, it's only right Margaret should have the last word, taken from the speech during her recent Isles of Scilly visit, on the legacy she leaves behind.
I know that I'm leaving an excellent team of people who will continue to deliver for the Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly, and will put all of us each and every one of us and our families and our friends at the center of the decisions that we make, because that's what the move to integrated neighborhood teams, the move towards care closer to home really means.